really counts. Remember that there will be difficulty, but in the middle of difficulty lies opportunity. There will be tough times, but tough times never last. It is tough people that do. I encourage you, go out, make a difference today, impact a life positively. You remember Barrister just talking about revenge. Some people want to revenge, but Nelson Mandela chose not to revenge. So did Mahatma Gandhi and others. Because revenge is a weakness. It is a sign of weakness. So you don't have to revenge. You have to forgive and move on in life. Go out there today and be the change that you want to see in the world.
Oh, thank you so much, my very own shock absorber. Okay, let's just continue. This one says Nigeria Army this charges a female soldier who accused senior officers of sexual harassment. And another one, this one is big, and it says, we will review, upgrade Abuja master plan. And this is credited to Wike. Okay. This and a lot more, our dear listener, it's coming your way, and including issues from our very own Plateau State, Nigeria, and especially updates as it concerns politics, elections, 70 local governments. Barrister, where do we even start? Do we start from the updates, or we just go straight to see what day of the we have today? Prof, you're making it look like yes, I'm becoming so relaxed looking at the issues
about the days and all that.
Yes. So
the president of Nigeria seek debt cancellation in Onga. That's quite interesting. You remember during Obasanjo's regime, you know, the combined effort of Okonjo-Iweala and Obiageli Ekweselesi, they used their diplomatic influence and pressed all the necessary buttons, which led to the to the cancellation of Nigerian debts and further release of Abacha loot, and so many other things were done to strengthen Nigeria's economy. But as it has been the trend, Abacha's loot was relooted during that regime, and even in subsequent regime. Even during Buhari, at a point in time during Goodluck Jonathan's regime, the foreign countries stopped releasing Abacha's loot because as long as they were concerned, the Abacha loot was being relooted. So because of the goodwill that Buhari's regime enjoyed, they released they continue releasing Abacha's loot. Unfortunately, even during Buhari regime, it was relooted, and since then Nigeria have not been receiving Abacha's loot. Now back to the issue of debt cancellation. It will be extremely difficult for the international community to cancel Nigerians' debt, because our politicians, our leaders have not really demonstrated goodwill in terms of managing the country's resources, in terms of managing the country's asset. So it is an extremely difficult task until our leaders demonstrate good political will in terms of management of Nigerian economy and sincerity, and particularly fighting corruption, before I think the international community will be able to reconsider whether Nigerians' debt will be cancelled. But as long as I'm concerned, we plunge ourselves into this debt, and as long as I'm concerned, it is as a result of leadership failure and corruption. And even as it is now, this regime has not really demonstrated goodwill in terms of managing the economy, in terms of they keep on giving Nigeria false hope, and then there is any blueprint that at least Nigeria will hold on to and say, okay, this is a template that maybe in the next 2 years or in the next 3 years, we'll be moving from this step to that step. And then when you also look at the issue of subsidy removal, they told us that apart from the huge debt that subsidy is plunging Nigerian into, that they also will have enough resources to develop our roads, to secure employment for the unemployed, and do so many other massive infrastructural development. But as you can see, this is over 1 year the subsidy has been removed. We have not really seen any massive infrastructural development. We have not seen that massive employment they promise people. Rather, it is hardship by the day, and there is no any deliberate. And it may interest you to know that even from the caliber of people this regime employed, you will know that you will not expect something much from them, because you cannot keep on recycling those people who have played one role in the past regimes and did not do anything. You are recycling them and expecting something much or something different. It is the same case of looting, corruption, and so many other things. So I thought that one of my expectation with Tinubu is that when he was governor in Lagos State, the president really brought in some youths and give them a lot of responsibility. So I was expecting to see a lot of new energy into the system, but unfortunately that wasn't the case. It's these people that have been there, it's these people that have plunged the country to where we are, and then you bring them. Then for you to expect anything different or anything new or unique from them, I think that is just an assumption. That is just a fantasy. So it's quite unfortunate that this is where we are. So I felt it's going to be extremely difficult for Nigeria to secure those debt cancellation, because they have not really demonstrated the prerequisite leadership preconditions that will lead to such a debt cancellation.
All right.
Imagine could be that you borrowed 1 million naira from me that you're supposed to pay in a month's time. And then when it was time for you to pay, you come to me asking me to cancel the debt. And I see that you just bought a new SUV. And I just noticed that you're building a house that is 30 million naira in Jos. And I just noticed that recently you acquired another property worth 100 million. And then you are telling me that, please, forgive me, that 1 million that I borrowed from you, I am not able to pay it right now. Can you please cancel the debt? Do you think I will do that when I'm seeing you with a new SUV, when you're building a 30 million naira house, when you've acquired a property 100 million? That is what is happening. The president of Nigeria, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, traveling around the world with a presidential jet that many countries cannot afford. We are told 150 billion naira, and then you're asking for debt relief. You're asking them to cancel all that you're owing. The same thing they did about 24 years ago, thereabout, under Olusegun Obasanjo. You're asking for the same thing. I mean, when it was cancelled that time, we should have made maximum use of that opportunity not to accumulate more debts, But we continued borrowing. Every regime after Obasanjo kept borrowing. And to crown it all, when His Excellency Muhammadu Buhari became president, he went all over the world cap in hand, begging and borrowing money.
For more.
And borrowing and just borrowing, If there is anything to remember Muhammadu Buhari for, is that he borrowed and borrowed. In fact, some people are calling him Mr. Borrow, that he's going to borrow again. Anytime they hear that he's traveling, they say he's going out again to borrow more money. The same thing His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu is doing. And then at the same time, you're asking for debt relief. I mean, you must be joking. Nobody will take you serious, especially when they see our luxurious lifestyle of our politicians, when they see politicians riding the best cars on earth that even senators in the US cannot afford, when they see politicians living in mansions that prime ministers and presidents of other nations cannot afford. And then you're coming and you're asking, I mean, are you taking the world as if they are little children or they don't know what they're doing, Are you taking these countries that give you money as if they don't have something to do with the money? So they should just, just give you free of charge. I think it's a big joke. We need to sit down as a country and do something about our economy, do something drastic about corruption that seems to parade itself in high places, all over this country. We need to be serious about tackling corruption, not the type that EFCC is doing selective justice all over the place. No, we need to confront corruption headlong, and we need to begin with the president, the vice president, and all the ministers, the governors, all those senators. We need to begin with them, investigate them, and kick out all the corrupt ones and sanitize the system. Then the nations of the world will take us serious.
Well, I would have loved to talk about the governor of Zamfara, who is, of course...
It is a very, very sensitive issue. Very sensitive.
It is sensitive, and it is
quite unfortunate that he is not only accusing the former governor of Zamfara, Governor Matawale, he is also accusing the former NSA of involvement in terrorism. And he said he has facts, he has evidence of their involvement in terrorism. And then you can see that if somebody like the former NSA can be involved in such accusation, I think you can see why what General Tiwa Danjuma said some years back is justifiable. And you can also see why this team is kept festering. This team is, they keep on being emboldened. You can see where the allegation that some people will say they see helicopters dropping weapons for them, because as an NSA, you have control, or you control the secret services, you control even the military, you control almost all the security.
You barrister, there's no way we'll fly
if the former NSA is involved, then I think this is a very serious issue. This thing should not be politicized. This allegation should be investigated, and then the investigation should be transparent. They should bring erudite jurists that are fearless, that are principled, that are God-fearing to investigate this issue and come up with a white paper and take a decisive action, because it touches on the very fabric of Nigerians' territorial integrity.
You have a comment.
They are also accusing him of the same thing that he's accusing them of. Bello Matawale has come out to accuse the Zamfara State governor that he's involved in banditry and terrorism. In fact, I think is it just last night or so he came out to ask the governor to swear by the Holy Quran that he's not involved in banditry, in those activities. So it is accusation and counter-accusation. So both of them, they're accusing themselves of being involved. That is why we need a neutral arbiter, to really investigate what is happening between the governor of Zamfara State, the current governor, and the former governor. Because I think they're just playing on the nation's intelligence, and accusing and counter-accusing each other of involvement in banditry, in terrorism, in the northwestern part of the country. If we were a country that is serious, by now, the Zamfara State governor should have resigned. Bello Matawale should have resigned. And then let's have an independent investigation. As long as they're still holding power, it's difficult to really get the truth. Because as Minister of State for Defense, Matawale is a very powerful man. As governor of Zamfara State, the governor is also very powerful. So, as long as both of them are occupying offices, it will just be speculation and accusation and counter-accusation. Both of them should resign. And let's investigate their activities.
I agree with you that this is a sensitive issue. Of course, that this has been on for a very long time. It shows that some people whom are, of course, are big shots in Nigeria might be part of it, but nobody is really saying who. We're yet to ascertain who that person is. Stay tuned. We'll be back after this commercial break time.
Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again. It's been so long since you've been here. You had me thinking you were dead. How's your taxpayer mansion?
The Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the worrisome increase in the activities of illegal financial operators, IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The FSRCC and NBC hereby advises the general public to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Make sure to verify the licensing status of such companies and schemes on this website. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call 0700 225 5226, 0800 225 5226, or +234 817 665 6273. Let's work together to uphold the integrity of Nigeria's financial system. Announcer, FSRCC.
Are you bored and need some company? Get a TV experience like no other on Unity TV. We are turning up the hits with captivating TV shows, electrifying political programs, music, movies, and lots more that will leave you craving. I'm sure you want to know more. Tune in to Unity TV today and let the excitement take over.
I was the head boy in my primary school, senior prefect and best graduating student in my secondary school, but drug abuse almost ruined my life.
I was on an average of 2 grams of cocaine per day.
I was taking 8 ampoules of pentazosine daily.
European shisha, cocaine.
I became a user, a dealer, and a gangster.
I saw other users drowning. I knew I didn't want to be like them, but I was already trapped.
My family disowned me.
My employment was terminated.
I sold my car, sold my house. I'll go out well-dressed and return shoeless, shirtless in exchange for drugs.
I was saying things that were not real, and I once stabbed myself because I felt something crawling under my skin.
I contacted NDLEA and started therapy.
I spent 3 months in therapy.
I spent 8 months.
It's easy to relapse, but your mind has to be stronger than the cravings.
Drugs does not love you. You are not the one using drugs. Drugs are the one using you. Say no to drug abuse.
Get ready to be entertained and inspired by the incredible stories around the globe. Don't miss out on the excitement. Hello at Work is an ultimate TV program that brings to you the interesting stories and daily happenings worldwide. Join us Mondays and Thursdays 10 a.m. as we dive into the daily happenings and stories. Tune in and stay. Say hello to the world as you bring in your ideas, as it is a perfect blend of entertainment and information. Get ready to stay up to date while being entertained.
Please pay attention. It starts from the foundation. Everybody needs somebody. You turn a blind eye and care nothing less. Say it's just business, all about the money. You are so unbothered as long as they pay. Say it's just business, all about the money. You know they're on a fast lane, but you've got business to run. So you look away the other way.
It concerns you. It a kill law, it a kill dreams. It a land people for jail. War against drug abuse.
Unity. Unity TV.
Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again. It's Been so long since you've been here.
All right, thank you. I'm so glad to say welcome back. This is the midweek edition of Unity Trend on Unity 93.3 FM. It happens to be the 25th day in the month of September, the year 2024. E.G. Adamu remains my name, your anchor, regular anchor for that matter. It's an honor, it's a privilege, and I'm so happy. So, okay, this is the second segment, and you know what we do once it is Wednesday, we just bring issues that has to do with sports and activities. And so in the studio this morning, the next 25 minutes is going to be time for sports, and I have Aremu and Sadiq. They're in the studio right now for Unity Sports Wave. I just go back to the the last seat of the train, and there I would have fun enjoying issues about sports. So, Remu and Sadiq, over to you now.
Thank you, sir. A wonderful morning to all our listeners and our viewers out there in the city of Jos and wherever are listening to us. Of course, I just like introduced. My name is Oluwafemi Aremu, and I have with me Sadiq here this morning.
Good morning.
Yes.
Good morning, listeners and viewers all around the state and its environs. Good morning.
Of course, Sadiq will pick it up from here, giving us everything about the under-19 youth league that is currently going on in the country. Yeah. Over to you, Sadiq.
So, good morning, listeners. Good morning, viewers all around Plateau State and its environs. We'll be kickstarting with the National Youth League. The National Youth League Cup actually is a competition that was created and organized for under-19 teams, boys between the ages of 16 and 19 that are playing basically for the professional league sides. So this is a tournament that was brought to reality because we really want them to grow up to understand the professional ways and how they will develop and how they will see how they progress to the top because if we watch in Europe, we see boys of 16, 17
already
playing.
Doing great.
Yes, really already playing at the top leagues, playing the Champions Leagues, and so basically the league started last on the 16th of September with the kickoff between Legacy Stars of Abuja. They host Kano Pillars against Kano Pillars in Abuja, and the match ended 1-0 in favor of Kano Pillars. It was an away win for them. So the other matches were supposed to take stage yesterday. Plateau United against Mighty Jets under-19 here at New Jos Stadium in Zaria Road. But the match was rescheduled for today, hopefully by 3:30 today. So fans and supporters of both teams, that's a local derby actually, Mighty Jets against Plateau United. Yes, so we're looking forward to seeing that. And lastly, we have 4 teams representing Plateau State in the league. 4 teams actually are representing us here in the league. We have Jokers, FA, Jokers, we have Plateau Jets, and then Mighty Jets and Plateau United are those representing Plateau State. So this is a league that we should all look out for, and it's going to be actually because the teams are separated into 2 conferences, the Northern and the Southern Conference, with 15 teams each on both sides. So it's going to be played in a league format. The 2 top teams are going to play in the final, and so we should be looking out to that. The prize money for the league is 40 million naira at stake.
You can see
40 million naira at stake.
Yes.
So, Mr. Fem, what do you think about the league? What do you think the prospect, and how do you feel that's going to help these young boys showcase their talents?
Of course, it's a wonderful development for our age grade football, I must say. You look at the under-19 in previous years, they have been really doing well, especially talking about the under-20. That is the former Ladan Boso boys. Of course, Ladan Boso has resigned, has been relieved of his job from that position. But for the Flying Eagles, it's definitely going to be a big one for these Flying Eagles. That is, competition like these are made for development stages. What is really important is their development. But the big question is, do we take it up from there? After this tournament, what is next for these players? Most of these under-19 players, where will they go to? Will the right people take it up from there and make sure that they play for possibly the national under 20 or even the national team. We've seen players like Taiwo Awoniyi, who played for under 17. Look at where they are currently. We also Victor Osimhen. They all started from Iheanacho, Mikel Obi. They all started from the age grade football, and then they pick it up from there. And then they were able to make it to the national team. And then this tells you that when we look deeply into our age grade football, of course, will see a lot of talent, which if we take it up from there and ensure that the development stages is what we focus on, then definitely these players, they will definitely go far and prove to us that we have everything it takes to compete at the highest level.
And it will also help build their confidence level. Because,
exactly.
Yes, once you are used to playing always week in, week out, traveling, exposure,
the experience will be there.
The experience will be there. Thank you very much, Mr. Femi.
All right. Yes. Okay. We also look at the MPFL, of course. Let's look at what happened during the course of last week. That is the weekend, matches. And then we also, of course, there are some matches to watch out for today in the MPFL. But last weekend we recorded some record, as no home team was able to come out with 3 points at home. Of course, it's something really interesting in the MPFL. If you are a fan of the MPFL, you know that.
And this is really showing that the league is really developing.
Of course,
this is developing fast.
Yes, Sadiq, quickly, we saw some results in the MPFL this last weekend, where of course Akwai United rather, they played out a goalless draw with Ikorodu United. And of course, Atland of Owerri also played out a goalless draw with Castina United, and Sunshine Stars also played out a goalless draw with Abia Warriors, while Kano Pillars lost at home to Remo Stars, and Plateau United lost at home to Niger Tornadoes. That one ended 2-1.
It was actually a disappointing performance because the fans were expecting a lot from the team. Losing at home has not been our thing when the Plateau at all.
Yes, you look at Plateau United last season. First half of the season, they maintained a 99% home record, of course. But going into second half of the season, they did well, but they also dropped some points, which was crucial in them missing out on the continental tickets. But this time around, of course, just 3 matches into the season, they've lost at home to Niger Tornadoes. Well, it tells you that the league is a league whereby you can go both away and home, and then you can grind out results. Yes, but for Nasarawa United, they also lost at home to El Kanemi Warriors by 4-3. That was a really interesting game between both sides. Of course, 7-goal thriller from both sides. And then for Rivers United, they also defeated Lobby Stars at home. That one ended 1-0 in favor of Rivers United. Yes, what do you have to say about Finidi George, of course, taking this Rivers United? He has been proving us wrong that he's a very good coach. And then we've seen what he's doing with Rivers United. You might say it's too early for us to be judging him, but we've seen it in recent times with what he did with Enyimba. He was able to win the league with them. Some will say it's the abridged version, but it's a league. It's still a league. But for Finidi George, do you think it's as for NFF to? It's because NFF is impatient. That is why it's as if they are making the wrong decision, or you think they make the right decision to make the decision of hiring foreign technical advisor for Finidi George. We know that is the main reason why he resigned as the head coach of the national team. Or do you think it's because he's not that capable of taking us to the next level?
Actually, we spoke about this on the previous edition. Finidi George, not only him, any coach that will take over the national team needs time. Needs time to build, to develop, to see, and to be used to the environment. So just giving a coach the job and expecting him to give results immediately, I don't think that will be possible. But he has shown himself that he's a good coach. He has been able to give out results. Just as you said, he did it with Enyimba, and now again he's doing it with Rivers United. It's not too early to judge, actually,
yes,
because this is where we'll see. We can guess what will happen. We can guess maybe moving forward, the team will still get better and better with him on board.
All right. Also, we saw the CAF Confederations Cup and the CAF Champions League, but unfortunately, the champions of MPFL, are out of the tournament. That is the CAF Champions League. They lost to their opponents during the course of the weekend, and it's so unfortunate that whenever it comes to playing at the continent stage, we really find it difficult to perform. That is for the Nigerian team. Rangers are no longer at the CAF Champions League. We have only Enyimba currently representing us, which is definitely going to be a tricky one for us, because if Enyimba fails to make it to the group stage, our slot will definitely be reduced to probably 3 or 2, which is definitely going to be a difficult one for the various clubs in Nigeria. We look at last season, whereby it was only Rivers United who were able to make it far in that tournament. Remo Stars qualified, also Enyimba qualified, but they were not able to make it far in that tournament. So what's your own, why do you think, what's the reason behind our clubs failing to participate whenever they move over to the continent stage? You look at previous years, especially when we face the North African side, we find it really difficult to make it to go beyond them. It's been a difficult one for our Nigerian clubs not going far in the tournament, and now we stand a very huge risk of our slot being reduced to 3 if Enyimba fails to make it to the group stage.
Our problem has been the same all this while. Firstly, administrative issues. Secondly, our development from the grassroots to progress. Just like we talked about the Under-19 League. We just talked about the Under-19 League, bringing up these boys to be used to the scenario of going outside, getting exposed and playing with other people from other places. Actually, you talked about we playing against the North Africans. It has never been easy for we as West Africans playing against them, because they are more tactical. They are more tactical than we here. We base all, we are tactical as well, but not as, we cannot compare with them.
You look at the North Africans, is there something they are doing right that we are not doing? Because you look at their system over there, things seems to be working really well. But when it comes over to here, you look at the way we play, even our organization is far fetched from what they offer.
Aremu, even from the back seat of the train, please, let me just come in here. When you say back there in North Africa, things seems to be working, what do you refer to that? Is it politically, or what is it actually? So let's get it here.
When I say things seems to be working back there, the system is quite transparent, and then you look at I don't want to say politically, because we've narrowed it. Sports is not politics. When you bring politics into sports, then definitely you don't expect to get the right results. You look at for the North Africans, they will bring in those that are that know the game, that have the passion, the zeal is there for them. They know everything about the game, and then the transparency is there. Whenever they are doing something, they make it to everybody who knows that. Yes, everybody gets to know that this is what we are doing. This is how this is the deal we signed. This is everything. But when it comes down to us here, we do things as if we are running secret society.
Influence, maybe political influence, exactly. Some big shots influence.
And it still boils down to the administrative part that I talked about.
Yes, so you mentioned that.
We don't bring politics. If we make it political now, we are narrowing it to a particular, but it's a big body actually.
All right.
That needs to be.
Oh, I see. So politicians actually are also players when it comes to sports.
Exactly.
Okay. I'll leave it to you.
All right. Yes. But in order for us to ensure that we do really well when it comes to the continent stage, we need to also improve in our leagues, because when you look at the way we, but I must give kudos to the IMC rather this time around, because we saw the date for the league for the very first time in a long while, and then that date was not postponed. Because when I saw that date, I was like, definitely we should be expecting the second date. But we were disappointed. Let me put it that way. We were disappointed. They dropped a date, and that the league kickstarted that same date. That tells you that the development is there, because you look at previous years, the CAF Champions League and CAF Confederations Cup is already on, but our league is still yet to start. But this time around is very different, which is another big stage in improving these players. we hope that Enyimba will do the needful. They'll be able to make it to the group stage so that our slot will not be reduced, because if they reduce our slot, it's going to be a big problem. You look at the Presidential Federations Cup. That's the winner now. What will be their fate? Because the winner definitely will play at the CAF Confederations Cup. So if they reduce their slots, what will be their fate? That is the winners of that cup.
We should just be hopeful that Enyimba will do the needful, because they've been fantastic in previous years. Years they've won it before.
Yes, 2 times.
Previous winners. So let's hope they will do us proud and help us keep our slot.
All right, we hope that they will do that. But also today we have some fixtures in the NPFL. That is midweek fixture. Is going to be a big one for the champions, as they will be taking on. They will also be in action. They will be taking on Ikorodu City. That is the new boys. A big one to watch out for.
They actually got their first point last weekend.
Yes, Ikorodu boys. Yes, they got their first points, and then it's going to be a big one when they take on the champions today. Well, what do you think is going to happen when the new boys take on the Fidelis Ilechukwu boys?
Actually, football is played on the pitch. 90 minutes will tell, but Enyimba should not underrate them, because football can be opened only after 90 minutes. That's when the result will come.
Yes, and then Enyimba will also play Lobby Stars today by 4 o'clock.
Rangers.
Is Enyimba Lobby Stars, while Ikorodu City will take on the champions, Enugu Rangers. Yes, and then yesterday we saw some fixtures in Europe. Let's quickly move over to Europe. We don't have much time left on the show, but we saw some fixtures in Europe yesterday, and of course it's the Carabao Cup, as 13 teams already have qualified. But we saw in Chelsea, they were able to defeat their opponents by 5 goals to nil. They defeated Barrow by 5 goals to nil. Actually, from Christopher Nkunku. That was a brilliant one from Chelsea. But also we saw Manchester City, who also defeated Watford by 2 goals to 1. That game was a really interesting one. At the 9 minutes time, Watford got a consolation goal. They almost got the equalizing goal, but it was not. The time was no longer on their side for Watford, and of course they lost out to Manchester City by 2 goals to 1. For Manchester City, what do you have to say about Rodri possibly being out of the season? ACL injury, of course. Definitely is going to be a big problem for Pep Guardiola. We've seen the stats whenever they play without Rodri. It seems to be really difficult for Manchester City. They've lost more games without Rodri than they did with him. So it's going to be a really huge season for Manchester City. Do you think technically they should be out of the title race when it comes to the English Premier League?
No, I don't think so, because the coach is actually a tactical coach. You just have to wait and see what he brings out of it. Rodri out, yes, it will affect the team, but Pep knows what to do in such situations. Okay, so I think we will definitely watch out for that. But yesterday also, we saw Como defeating Atlanta by 2 goals to 2. That is in the Serie A. And then in the La Liga, we saw Sevilla playing out a 2-1 win versus Real Valladolid. Chidera Ejuke getting a goal for himself there. Then we also saw Valencia versus Osasuna. That one ended in a goalless draw. And Real Madrid defeated Deportivo Alaves by 3 goals to 1. Of course, Kylian Mbappe on the score sheet, and Rodrigo also on the score sheet for Real Madrid there. That game was a really tricky one. For Madrid, they conceded 2 goals in just 2 minutes. That is the last 2 dying minutes they conceded 2 goals. But they were able to grind out results. And of course, leaving there quickly, let's look at fixtures we should be expecting today, of course, in the Carabao Cup, or rather in the Europa League. Manchester United will be in action. They will be taking on. I will get that shortly. Who Manchester United will be taking on. But Tottenham Hotspur will also be in action. They will be taking on Qarabağ by 8 o'clock for match for Tottenham Hotspur. And then in the Spanish La Liga, we'll see Espanyol versus Villarreal by 8 o'clock. By 6 o'clock rather, and Las Palmas will take on Real Betis by 6 o'clock also, and Celta Vigo will take on Atletico de Madrid by 8 o'clock. While in the Coppa Italia, while in the Carabao Cup, we'll see Arsenal in action. They will take on
Boston Wanderers by 7:45, and Liverpool will take on West Ham United by 8 o'clock.
That's actually a Premier League clash.
Yeah, exactly. You should be expecting it to be a tricky one at Anfield this night. Yes, Barcelona also be in action today, taking on Tafe by 8 o'clock, and Girona will be in action taking on Rayo Vallecano by 6 o'clock. And also, just like in the Europa League, Manchester United will be in action. Yes, but
FC20 will be in action against FC20.
Yes. That's the game for Manchester United. They'll be in action also. Leaving there quickly. Sadiq, quickly. Let's look at let's quickly come back home and look at the AFCON qualifiers, whereby Libya will host Nigeria. That is going to be in October rather. Is going to be a big one for both sides. Of course, Libya, they will be hosting Nigeria in October. That is the AFCON qualifiers. We've already started on a good note. What do you have to say concerning when we take on Libya? Of course, Austin Eguavon is still in charge, and then we know he's still going to be in charge. He's going to take on that position. What do you have to say concerning Nigeria welcoming Libya in October?
That should be, we should actually fight for the 3 points so that we solidify our position on the top of the log, and then after that we'll see where the next match, we take the matches a match at a time, and then we sure the coach is doing well for now.
For now,
he's doing well, but let's see where the next match takes us, and then we can decide on.
All right. Thank you so much. I think this is the much we take on today's episode of Sports Wave on Unity Train. Of course, thank you so much, Sadiq, and then thank you so much, sir.
All right. Thank you. I'm so glad to have you take the lead on this very wonderful radio show. And of course, we are streaming live on Facebook. You can always connect with us. And this program, Unity Sports Wave, will always come your way, God's willing, every Wednesday during the second segment of Unity Train. And so this is because we really desire to have this, because you mean a lot to us, dear listener and viewer. Sir Aremu and Sir Sadiq, it's lovely, and thank you for such a wonderful and fantastic ride already. Okay, dear listener, this is the match for this very segment. We are coming back, and when we do, it's going to be another fantastic ride again, because we are looking forward to have in the studio a group of pharmacists that are with us, and very soon they will join me and we will continue the conversation. And again, we'll open the studio line so that our dear listener and viewer will also have a part to play in these conversations. Thank you. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again. It's been so long since you've been here. You had me thinking you were dead. How's your taxpayer mansion? How was your...
Please pay attention. It starts from the foundation. Everybody needs somebody. You turn a blind eye and care nothing less. Say it's just business, all about the money. You are so unbothered as long as they pay. Say it's just business, all about the money. You know they're on a fast lane, but you've got business to run. So you look away the other way.
It concerns you. It a kill law, it a kill dreams. It a land people for jail. War against drug abuse.
Unity. Unity TV.
The Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the worrisome increase in the activities of illegal financial operators, IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The FSRCC and NBC hereby advises the general public to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Make sure to verify the licensing status of such companies and schemes on this website. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call 0700 225 5226, 0800 225 5226, or +234 817 665 6273. Let's work together to uphold the integrity of Nigeria's financial system. Announcer, FSRCC.
Get ready to be entertained and inspired by the incredible stories around the globe. Don't miss out on the excitement. Hello at Work is an ultimate TV program that brings to you the interesting stories and daily happenings worldwide. Join us Mondays and Thursdays, 10 a.m. as we dive into the daily happenings and stories. Tune in and stay. Say hello to the world as you bring in your ideas, as it is a perfect blend of entertainment and information. Get ready to stay up to date while being entertained.
I was the head boy in my primary school, senior prefect and best graduating student in my secondary school, but drug abuse almost ruined my life.
I was on an average of 2 grams of cocaine per day.
I was taking 8 ampoules of pentazosine daily.
European shisha, cocaine.
I became a user, a dealer, and a gangster.
I saw other users drowning. I knew I didn't want to be like them, but I was already trapped.
My family disowned me.
My employment was terminated.
I sold my car, sold my house. I'll go out well-dressed and return shoeless, shirtless in exchange for drugs.
I was saying things that were not real, and I once stabbed myself because I felt something crawling under my skin.
I contacted NDLEA and started therapy.
I spent 3 months in therapy.
I spent 8 months.
It's easy to relapse, but your mind has to be stronger than the cravings.
Drugs does not love you. You are not the one using drugs. Drugs are the one using you. Say no to drug abuse.
Are you bored and need some company? Get a TV experience like no other on Unity TV. We are turning up the hits with captivating TV shows, electrifying political programs, music, movies, and lots more that will leave you craving. I'm sure you want to know more. Tune in to Unity TV today and let the excitement take over.
Unity. Unity TV.
Please pay attention. It starts from the foundation. Everybody needs somebody. You turn a blind eye and care nothing less. Say it's just business, all about the money. You are so unbothered as long as they pay. Say it's just business, all about the money. You know they're on a fast lane, but you've got business to run. So you look away the other way.
It concerns you. It kill law, it kill dreams. It land people for jail. War against drug abuse.
Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again.
So much. Thank you so much for staying tuned with us on Unity 93.3 FM from the hills of ZINARIYA here in just north, Plateau State, Nigeria. It's been lovely since the very first segment of Unity Trend this morning. Professor Tafe, Bamayi, and Barrister Paul Zaruma were in with me in the studio for the first segment. And the second segment, it was sports time. That too was with Sadiq and Arimu, and the two of them. And now it's time for another two guests with me in the studio. You see, I am so covered. I'm so happy. My excitement flows when I have people of great, admirable caliber, capacity, joining me in the studio. And this is because my dear listener and viewer deserve all of these capable people. Okay, so before I put on the studio line, please permit me to just have this guest in the studio to say one or two things, and then we move quickly to receiving your calls and hear what you have to, what contributions you have. And so, 2024 World Pharmacist Day, pharmacists meeting global health needs. That's what it is for this year. And so, I'm so honored to have in the studio this morning the Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria, Plateau State Chapter, being represented in the studio of Unity 93.3 FM this morning. I have... okay, pharmacist Dr. Lotde Vangju. Okay, he is the chairman, Plateau State Chapter, and he's in the studio. I'll let him say a big good morning to our dear listener and viewer. Chairman, sir.
Thank you very much. Good morning, our listener, and happy World Pharmacist Day to all of us.
Yes, and that's lovely. Today, the women folks are not left behind, because in the studio this morning is a lady, and a big lady for that matter. So proud of her already. This is because she's part of these people of great capacity. Pharmacist Mrs. Igweye Obodo, okay, Deputy Director. And she'll be saying another big good morning to our listener and viewer. So, Ma.
Good morning, listeners and viewers. It's an honor to be with you this morning.
Okay, so, Mr. Chairman, sir, let's just begin without waste of time. So, 2024 World Pharmacist Day. This one says a pharmacist meeting global health needs. So, what is this theme all about for us that my listener and viewer stands to benefit?
Thank you very much for this opportunity, and we thank God for seeing this day being marked as World Pharmacist Day globally.
Yes.
The theme for this year, as you stated, is pharmacists meeting global health needs. A pharmacist is a drug expert, someone who is trained in the university through the rudiments of all the training that it requires, and is licensed to practice pharmacy. He is someone who handles drugs and poisons. He manufactures, he imports, and all that to do with drugs. You sell, you give to the public. I mean, ship it here and there. Everything is being done by the pharmacist. And pharmacists meeting global health needs. The fact that drugs are cardinal in all our health needs. Without drugs in the health system, I doubt if we can make a headway. In fact, the pharmacists are the first point of call for everyone who wants to seek either primary health care or certain things. But then, pharmacists carry the services, that's the clinical services, as well as the product. So the pharmacists are very, very central, in meeting global health needs. That's why the theme for this year, to showcase the fact that pharmacists are central in healthcare.
All right. Okay, so our mother in the studio, so what's your take on this very theme?
Okay, just to add to what my colleague has mentioned, this year's theme is pharmacists meeting global health needs, and this particular theme underscores the vital role that pharmacists play in addressing global health challenges. And this is all embracing from ensuring access to safe and effective medications, as well as providing health education and support within the healthcare system. Our role has been evolving over the years and really expanding frontiers, and so there are three main areas, from product-related, that's medicine-related product functions, to patient-centered functions, and we are also evolving into point of care and settings-based services function as it is now.
Okay.
So this is a day set aside to create awareness on the contributions of pharmacists to global healthcare, as well as advocating, yes, for their training and finding placements properly. Thank you.
Oh, that's lovely. Do you have a place? Is it that you'll be having an event coming today? You have a place for that, or you just decide this year it should be a radio-based tour just to create awareness concerning your role as pharmacist? So.
Okay. Thank you very much. For the past few days, we've been engaging the media to propagate who the pharmacist is, public enlightenment, and educating the public about the pharmacist. The day, we almost started, some 3 days ago that we've been, engaging the public. But today is the D-Day.
Okay.
So we are making it, with an event. We're gathering together at Villa Grant in a hotel at the Gordon base.
Okay.
To mark the event from 12 noon today.
Okay.
So we will be gathering there with dignitaries, government functionaries, our partners in the profession, and then all pharmacists gathering together to celebrate this day. So we have an event coming up from 12 noon today.
Okay. Ma, maybe this is a very different question coming to you now. So what's the role of pharmacists in trying to ensure that, in terms of, improved health condition of the citizens? So do you have a role at all in this?
Oh, yes. Pharmacists play a vital role, and I would, in summary, highlight some of the roles that pharmacists play in contributing to global healthcare. And first on my list is to talk about pharmacists' role in medication reviews. And this helps, medication reviews and reconciliations help to save a lot on health costs, and also add quality care to patient management. This usually happens in a multidisciplinary way, as we also partner with other healthcare providers to bring in medication reviews and optimize patient care. Pharmacists also find their role in pharmacotherapy monitoring, and that is to ensure that already prescribed medicines to patients, there is a follow-through to see how well the patient is doing on it and what adjustments to make. Pharmacists also play, they have evolving and expanding roles into vaccination now, as community pharmacies are also being involved to kind of expand vaccination services. Community pharmacists particularly have been identified as a major player, forming the settings based for vaccination, and not traditionally only like we see the nurses really being involved with vaccination. And our country, Nigeria, is also keen in on this. There are other ways that pharmacists have played roles in contributing to contributing to global health, and in the area of drug development. Pharmacists have their place. They are bringing services over drug discovery and development, and really adding to patient care. Yes, so we also have drug information services.
Okay.
Pharmacists have played a very key role in bringing information on medicines, its uses, safety boundaries, and how best to have optimal use of medicines. We also have a place in medication storage and disposal.
I see.
Yes, so
you do
our roles are evolving, and we contribute to global healthcare.
All right. Earlier on, Mr. Chairman, you made mention of license. One has to be licensed before he or she practice. Yes. So, but has there been any challenge, particularly on the plateau? Or you can put it up, maybe widen it to look at Nigeria. Have we been having any challenge of people who have not been licensed and yet, want to practice?
Yeah, thank you very much. We have a great challenge, in the healthcare sector in general in Nigeria, and then the pharmaceutical industry in particular. The pharmaceutical industry is a very, very well regulated. It's a highly technical profession. It's a highly intellectual profession, and like we said, it requires a massive training to be a pharmacist and to handle these drugs and poisons. By the way, we know that all drugs are poisons anyway. But in this country, we find out that even those who know nothing about drugs, in the industry, there are those who are licensed to sell some certain kind of drugs, like over-the-counter drugs, simple drugs, like the patent drugstores dealers, where they are licensed to sell certain number of drugs wholly as they are. But in this country, the regulation of drug supply and use is not optimal at all. In fact, it is somehow not encouraging, so that everybody just comes into this. You can see, if you go around now, you observe that even the nearest cubicle around you, find that there's one small drugstore, that someone there is managing it who knows nothing about medicines, and they could handle all sorts of medicines, and that is a very great danger to us as as a people, because these drugs, like I said, they are poisons. They are meant to be handled by those who are trained and licensed, and our licenses are renewed every year. If you don't renew your license that year, you are not fit to practice for that year, because we must assess you, and the council must assess you that year and give you license to practice for that current year. So, but you observe that a lot of places, a lot of drug the shops, I call them shops because I can't call them premises because they are not registered. Many of them are not registered. Even those who are registered, you hardly see those who are qualified professionals to handle those places, those drugstores. So it's a very big problem. That's where we are saying pharmacists need to be heard. We need to tell the public that there are those who are responsible for this drug handling and usage. We should know who are professionals in this field. Otherwise, as it is, I'm telling you, most of our problem in the country are arising from drug misuse. People just use drugs that are even harming themselves without any knowledge of that. And when it happens, okay, after all, the person was sick and died. But most of the problems that are coming in, giving us great challenge in this country are from drug-related problems. And pharmacists are there to handle drug therapy problems. We are there to educate the public on drug therapy. Either the dose necessary or not necessary. Is it at the right dosage? Is it at the right time to be taken? Is it, is there any adverse effects that may come, that may experience from that drug? We educate the public to know when and where to go to for assistance where necessary. But this country, like I said, the dose distribution is so chaotic. In fact, people even hawking drugs on the street. Very potent active ingredients being hawked by people who know nothing about it on the streets all over the place, in garages and even in police stations. You find them all over the place. It's a big challenge, and we are praying that the government will see this as a challenge, as a very great health challenge that need to be faced headlong.
Okay, Ma, I would have you again emphasize on the fact that Mr. Chairman said something like it's dangerous to have people whom are unlicensed people, they're representing you, that you've not sent them to represent, and are there. How dangerous that is to the citizenry?
This issue that is being highlighted now has to do with the drug distribution layout, and I think our regulatory body has to really step up much more in this area. It is to the extent we allow this, to a very large extent, that this is really an ongoing trade, and and a very dangerous one for that matter. Like he rightly mentioned, the loss of lives and even a lot of costs involved because of drug misuse and drug abuse is quite a lot, and the regulatory body, through the task forces set in charge of ensuring that the distribution goes through the professional outline or persons who are licensed to handle medicines, actually have custody and distribute, will help a lot to reduce the evil tide that this brings to the citizenry. It's actually a very dangerous business, and it's affecting us as a society.
Okay. Oh, thank you very much. I wish we have all of the time so that we can go on and on. Our dear listener and viewer, now the studio line is booting, and so get ready in case you find it worthy to be part of the conversation this morning. Pharmacists meeting global health needs. That's what we are talking about for 2024 World Pharmacist Day. Okay, and in the studio it has been the pharmacist Dr. Von Jo and the pharmacist Mrs. Akwai. And so 07032353315 is the studio line. Your name and location. In 1 minute, let's have your submissions, and stay away from name calling on anything that will not support our visions promoting peaceful coexistence. And remember, comments made on this platform and not in any way the position of Unity in our 3.3 FM. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Kobe.
Thank you for calling.
Good morning, pharmacist in the house and the professor.
You're welcome.
My name is Nahude.
You're welcome. All right, so what do we have this morning?
What I want to say is about this Nigeria headline this morning about newspaper.
Okay.
That says if you cancel Nigeria debt, whereby we have Robert Stamp, former Senate president, that whenever Buhari wants to do it, he will sign Buhari Gwamboro. He will sign Buhari Gwamboro. What did they have to do him? So if it's in the country whereby that is working, former Senate president is also supposed to be senator or senator to be the lawmakers, because they are the one that put this Nigeria into trauma, into hardship we are passing through now. That is what I want to say.
All right, thank you.
God bless our country, bless our Plateau State. Thank you.
There never would have been any borrowing without approval from our representatives. And so that's what Mr. Kingsley Barnabas this morning is saying. In case you want to be part of it, 07032353315 is the studio line, and we're also streaming live on Facebook at Unity Radio FM/TV Jos, and the same we have for our WhatsApp channel as well. But for text messages, 0808-478-9999. Hello, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Kubi.
Thank you for calling.
And the guests in the studio.
You're welcome.
Very much. We'll continue to thank you for a good work.
Amen, and you too for calling.
You see, my take this morning is this. The government must do the needful.
All right.
To ensure that Nigerians are safe.
Yes.
Most especially for this health issue. You see, if subsidy is gone, and the government can help us to subsidize the prices of drugs, to make people get drugs at a lesser price, I think it will go a longer way to even help the people.
All right.
You see, on the other hand, you see people being in the hospital, battling with hospital bill, and the hospital will still be sending them to go and get drugs from chemists. And they will even go to such chemists and will not even be able to even buy such drugs because of the high prices of those drugs now. You understand?
Thank you.
So the government must be up and doing in this aspect of drugs to ensure that Nigerians benefit, because it's when one is healthy that you can walk.
I see.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So this is one of the things we begin to say.
All
and
right.
I want to ask a question, Mr. Kubi.
Go
the question is this. You see people carrying drugs and coming to your shop in the name of retailing and telling you if you buy these drugs, it will help you cure a particular set of sickness. And I don't know what the pharmacists are doing about this type of people.
All right.
You
They're
understand?
listening. They'll be
And on the
answering
other
you.
hand, I have another question for people who have passion to run a chemist in order to prescribe drugs to people in the community. What are they? How are they educating them the more? Because you see, someone did not even study, and he's not a pharmacist, but he's still running a chemist. So what are they doing to that type of people?
All right,
I think
thank
they
you.
need more orientation and education to ensure that the fake drugs are being given to the public. Thank you, and God continue.
Thank you so much, Mr. Adeomi. I read comments on Facebook and text messages. Permit me, dear listener and viewer. Right now, this one is coming from Ibrahim. Ibrahim is Barka Desapia. He's just saying good morning there in HAUSA language. Thank you. Mutala Yahayama Iga is saying a very big good morning. Excellent radio presenter could be is Professor PH Bamayi and the barrister Zaruma in the studio. Thanks for the good works. Please keep it up. And from God protect our country and make life easier for us. God bless Nigeria and Plateau State from Mutala Yahaya May Igia. And I think this will be the last to be heard this morning from our callers. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. I think we lost that already. So a text message here. This one says, good morning, Mr. Kubi. Good morning, Professor P.H. Bamayi and Barrister Paul Saruma, your guests. Honestly, life and leadership is a golden opportunity to many others if they will learn from the mistakes of previous people, and if they don't build their life based on them, the same mistake of others people. So indeed, do what other people can learn from you, especially your good habit and your good attitude. Just be like a tree, provide food to humanity, not harm the humanity. Thank at Ismail Isa. Okay, just Enshanu. Ismail Isa, just Enshanu. I think this is the much we'll be able to take on today's edition. But then, before we say bye-bye, I'll let the pharmacist in the studio to respond to these questions very briefly. I'll give you a minute each. So, where do we start? Ladies first. That has always been.
Okay.
Yes.
So, one of the contributors raised a vital an observation, which is a concern on the open drug market and hawkers who invade neighborhood shops or homes and saying they have medicines for sale. And he asked, what's the regulatory body, the Pharmacy Council, doing about this? He also asked concerning those who run the chemist shops and to find out what are their limits and boundaries in their operation. So do I handle for hawkers, and then you talk about regulations? Please source your medicines from registered pharmacies.
How do you know a registered pharmacy?
You know a registered pharmacy from the signboard. It's yes, one of the physical thing at the premises which the community can look out for. The signboard, and then pharmacy. Yes, and the presence of a residential pharmacist in that premise.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that is how you know a registered pharmacy premise. Please source your medicines from registered pharmacy premises.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yes. Thank you very much. On the regulation, especially as it concerns the patent medicine vendors. Like I said earlier, they have a limitation. They are licensed by the Pharmacy Council of Nigeria to sell, over-the-counter agents, drugs. That is, simple drugs in their whole form. They are not supposed to, even dispense. Okay. They should give it whole. Okay. If it's a tin of syrup, they should give that tin of syrup whole to the patient that come to assess it. Okay. And they have a limit to which, to the number of items to be stocked. But this is we find out that all of that they seem to stock virtually everything. So it is illegal for a patent medicine vendor to stock agents that are not that are outside its own scope of those that you stock. So that's where we have this problem. But it's all down to regulation. If regulatory bodies stamp their feet, then we shall clean the system.
Okay, in a minute, Mark, can you tell us again the details of this event? Where, when, and then we just say bye-bye because we have no more minutes to go.
All right, yeah. So the focal program marking this year's World Pharmacists Day right here on the plateau, the global event localized the event posture for us here on the plateau. The program will hold at Grand Villa, and it will be from 12 noon.
All right.
Yes, from 12 noon.
Today?
Yes, today.
All right, thank you so much for being in the studio.
Thank you.
I truly appreciate it. Okay, dear listener and viewer, this is the much we'll be able to take. I truly apologize. Your text messages are in there, but I have not been able to read all of it. By God's grace, tomorrow I'll get to read them. Thank you for all being there. The crew who made this possible, I truly appreciate you. A community broadcast is coming your way after this, so stay tuned and enjoy the rest of our program. From me, Kobe, I say bye-bye. See you tomorrow.
Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again. It's been so long since you've been here. You had me thinking you were dead.